This might be the rawest, most straightforward, hardcore statement and accusation of all times coming out of a president of the United States. That is why President Trump is a full-blown 100% boss.
Campaign strategy seems to be to call Biden a criminal. Why is that?
He is a criminal. He's a criminal. He got caught. Read his laptop. And you know who's a criminal? You're a criminal for not reporting it. You are a criminal for not reporting it. Let me tell you something. Joe Biden is a criminal, and he's been a criminal for a long time. And you're a criminal in the media for not reporting it. Good luck, everybody. Have a good time. Have a good time.
This video is brought to you by Extreme Tees. Click on the link below. Make sure you put Kevin in the promo code and you'll get a 20% discount. Man, hey, look, I'm gonna be honest. Come, hell or high water, I'm gonna ride and die with this president because he got the guts to call out fake, phony, stinking, disgusting CNN and all of the rest of the funky, crooked, stinking, dirty, nasty liberal media who, for some reason, act as if they have no idea why, President Trump's accusing Biden and Hunter of corruption. None idea. You know what? We're all shocked. And this idiot has the nerve to ask that question, which really is an indictment upon this man's whole credentials and the whole network as a whole. Because to even ask the president something like that, trying to imply that this is some tactic that Trump done drummed up, that has no legitimate reason to ask these questions, make these comments, all of that stuff, to even make that implication through the question lets me know that you're no reporter. You are some type of activist. You are a PR professional for the DNC, because a reporter would have said, well, you know what? Well, I mean, after looking at all of the overwhelming evidence, I shouldn't have to ask President Trump, hey, why are you making these claims? I should be the one going to find out if the claims are true. I probably would have went straight to Joe Biden and Hunter. But instead, you want to ask Trump, hey, well, you seem to be saying Trump, Biden's a criminal and a crook, Is this your campaign strategy? No, it's my common sense. It's my eyeballs and ears. It is me being able to see this not as the president or some reporter or an investigator. As a citizen, I'm able to straight up see the corruption from here, from Kevin's corner. I don't know how close Hunter Biden and, Joe is to me right now, but I can see their corruption from here and can smell it too. So, of course, you know what happened, y'all. A couple days ago, Hunty Biden, the little problem child in the family, I guess he stuck it to Joe because he left all the evidence laying out. Now, in my live show, I addressed this. I'm thinking, Joe, what were you thinking? Entrusting Hunter Biden with all of this? You know Hunter's the problem child. He can't get right. I mean, the man done been screwing up since long as we can remember him in the public eye. But now he wants to entrust Hunter Biden with all this corruption, thinking Hunter wasn't going to get lit one day, perhaps. And sound like a great idea. I can't get my stuff off my laptop. I'm going to say here, give it to these guys. You want me to sign? You want me to sign? Hunter Biden. Here you go. I'll come back for it. Wake up the next day, probably like, man, what did I do? Whatever happened to my laptop? Oh, man, it'll show up somewhere. Yeah, it did. It did. Showed up right here in the media. But for some reason, all this overwhelming evidence left out for them to snoop around, they decide that it's disinformation, perhaps, by the Russians, or some story concocted by President Trump. Now, why would they do that if they were journalists? They would run after all of the evidence and question the horse. They should be going to Hunter and Joe saying, hey, what's up with this? But they're not. And you know why they're not? Because they themselves were complicit. That's why they're not. If they confess that the whole Hunter and Joe Biden story was true, then they would also have to confess that they helped impeach the president on a legitimate question concerning Hunter and Joe's corruption. And they're not willing to do that. So what they're willing to do is belittle the intelligence of all you nice Americans out there watching, because they assumed, well, man, since we all are the corrupt media, let's huddle up and figure this out. All right, now here's what we're going to do. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we need you guys to bury this, okay? All right, throw out something. I don't care what you throw out. Throw out something stupid, anything, man. Just tell them, look, we can't publish verified information. Oh, man, that kind of messes us up because we did put out that dossier that was completely fake and concocted by us. But you know what? Maybe the dumb people won't catch that. And then say something else, something stupid that they might believe. Like, you know what? We don't publish stuff that was stolen or acquired improperly. Yeah, but then again, we did put out Trump's tax returns. But you know what? Our viewers and Trump haters, we've worked so hard to convince them how to be stupid, they won't catch it either. Put it out there. Yeah, see, so that's why this idiot is asking the question, and the media is running interference for Hunter and Joe, because they always helping Hunter and Joe get away with this. And Trump calls it out. Not only does he call it out, but a couple clips here would just go ahead and solidify it. Let's check these out.
Every time questions are raised to Joe Biden about his son Hunter Biden's wheeling and dealing overseas, Joe Biden adamantly denies wrongdoing.
My son did nothing wrong. He was already on the board, and he's a grown man. And it turns out he did not do a single thing wrong.
But bombshell new emails published by the New York Post appear to show Joe Biden has been lying about a fundamental fact. New emails show Joe Biden knew exactly what Hunter Biden was up to. Hunter Biden was using his father's vice presidential role to make money, fire pesky legal authorities overseas, and protect his own criminal dealings. Joe Biden claims he never discussed Ukraine business with his son Hunter.
I've never discussed my business or their business, my sons or daughters, and I've never discussed them.
But the following email from the number 3 executive of Ukrainian oil company Burisma, Vadim Pozharsky, to Hunter Biden seems to catch Joe Biden in a lie of outrageous proportions. Quote, "Dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to D.C. and giving an opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together. It's really an honor and pleasure."
Ooh, now, that right there sounds like incriminating evidence. Now, we all know if you ain't do nothing wrong, okay? See, if you don't see nothing wrong with a little money laundering and all of that, then immediately Joe Biden and them should have came out and said, oh, you know what? This is all fake. All of that stuff you're reading, that's not Hunter Biden stuff, but they're not. They're not. We're going to see that at the end of my video. So here's all this stuff coming out. Joe's not coming out mentioning it. In fact, he's getting mad that you would even ask something like that. Why you going to ask me something? You know what, man, my son didn't do nothing wrong. Now, here's my thought. I'm just, using a little deductive reasoning. If I got the runt of the litter in my family, the one son that's like Fredo, you know what I mean, off of The Godfather, Fredo, he just couldn't get right. You heard that. Look, Fredo, you're my brother and I love you, but don't ever go against the family. See, everybody knew it was a risk with Fredo. And so when you got Fredo, who really could drop the ball at any second, you're trying to convince me that this man put together that elaborate scheme and operation on his own without no knowledge coming out of Joe. I mean, that man could probably barely put on his shoes on his own, but yet he's going to put together all of these high elaborate schemes and connections and all of that. No assistance from Joe. I have to question that. But you know what? Maybe there's a nice commercial that Trump dropped out there that might sum it all up as well.
In your son's job in Ukraine, how is that not a conflict of interest?
It's not a conflict of interest. There's been no indication of any conflict of interest from Ukraine or anywhere else. Period. I'm not gonna respond to that. Let's focus on the problem. Focus on this man, what he's doing that no president has ever done.
You're selling access to the president.
You're a damn liar, man.
You said I set up my son to work in an oil company. Isn't that what you said? Get your words straight, Jack.
Do you think it was wrong for him to take that position?
No.
knowing that it was really because that company wanted access to you.
Well, that's not true. You're saying things you do not know what you're talking about. No one said that. Who said that?
What, don't
Who
you
said
think
that?
Well, now, that seemed pretty incriminating to me. So now we got all that footage of creepy, sleepy, sloppy, slimy being offended, getting mad. Got the audacity to be asking me about my son. Who said that? Tell me who making up these rumors, because I'm about to go in their mouth. Man, you questioning me? I'm creepy, sleepy, baby. So now, Joe Biden, all that footage. What? My son done nothing wrong. And see, it would be one thing if you didn't get over defensive over this. When you get mad and offended that folks would ask you the question, only to find out it was a legitimate question, and now you're caught lying and won't even approach a microphone at this point, but instead you decide to send some young Pop-Tart, some whippersnapper out there to run interference for you on Fox, and look what happens. Now understand, y'all, if you know anything about just psychology, psychiatry, human behavior, just a little bit of observation. There are certain things you know that folks are lying about that they don't realize they're basically telling you, I'm lying about this. First thing is when somebody asks you about the lie, instead of addressing it emphatically, like, what? No. What you do is get mad that they asked the question. Okay? What? You know what? I can't believe you asked me something like that. And then you never answer it. Instead, you pretend that you're so mad and offended that you're questioning my character that I'm not going to belittle, myself and answer such a stupid question. But the second part is when you don't answer it, you're lying. You're telling me right there that I'm not answering it because it's true. Therefore, my anger is telling you that it's true. My avoidance is telling you that it's true. Because if you know that you are telling the truth and somebody lying on you, you immediately confront that lie and say, that's not true. But not Joe Biden's folks, kind of like when they sent the one guy out, like, the guy asked me, hey, does Joe Biden use a teleprompter? See, there y'all go again. Man, y'all always be asking crazy stuff. I'm not even going to do, you know what? This comes straight out of Trump's camp. I'm going, no. Everybody was thinking it. We all want to know, but you can't tell us that. Hey, is Joe and Harris going to stack the court? You know what? We could talk about that, but we'd rather do. See, right then you let me know they're going to stack the court. Just like this. And I actually almost feel sorry for this girl. But she decided to work for Creepy Sleepy, so you get what you asked for.
You stand by your statement that you did not discuss any of your son's overseas business dealings with him?
Yes, I stand by that statement.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem true anymore, does it?
Leland, thank you so much for bringing this up. And I really appreciate Jillian pressing Steve, the representative from the Trump campaign, on the fact that so much of this is unconfirmed.
Okay, so Jenna, it's real simple. You say it's unconfirmed. Tell us what parts are not true. I mean, Hunter Biden knows what emails he has and hasn't sent. Are you saying, in the campaign, saying that these emails aren't his?
It's unclear to me. I would say that what's so important right now from both the American citizen and the media, yourself included, Leland, is to continue to ask clarifying questions about this, why the FBI is investigating. But it's imperative to note that the NSA told Trump that Giuliani was being played by these emails.
But again, Jenna, the easiest thing in the world to do, stop with all the obfuscation. The easiest thing in the world to do would be to say these aren't Hunter Biden's emails. Nobody, including Hunter Biden and including the campaign, has said it. Listen to the one time Joe Biden was asked about this.
Okay, let's check it out.
I know you'd ask it. I have no response. It's another smear campaign. It's right up your alley. They're the questions you always ask.
Noteworthy, that was a CBS reporter who was able to get that question in the one time that Joe Biden was available.
Leland,
hold on. Let me ask the question, Jenna. I'm going to ask the question, then you can respond. The question is this: I thought that demonizing the media was a threat to our democracy. Every time President Trump attacks the media, Democrats and yourself included can't wait to yell about that. Don't the American people deserve something better than the former vice president attacking the person who asks a legitimate question?
Well, I don't know if he attacked the person. I think he just said it was fake news. I'm sitting here
he said,
saying to you,
it's right up. It's another smear campaign right up your alley. Those are the questions you always ask. That kind of sounds like an attack to me.
That doesn't strike me as an attack. I'm sure you can find some other. I'm sure you can find some other statements on behalf of the campaign that are specifically an attack, like what your other guest just said. That having conversations and working with the Chinese government is the same thing with working with the Nazi Party. Like, compare apples to apples for me on that.
Okay, the Chinese Communist Party has concentration camps. It was Joe Biden who was over trying to do business with the Chinese and brought Hunter Biden along with him to introduce him around. And there's video of that. You
Leland,
think who?
We've just lost 200,000 Americans because of a pandemic that was poorly controlled. So if you want to talk about the loss of life because of bad leadership, let's have that conversation.
I'm so confused.
Me too.
What's interesting is I feel like you still haven't answered the fundamental question, which is, can anyone say that these emails are inauthentic? And so far, I haven't heard anybody say that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think anybody's saying they are inauthentic.
Jenna, let me ask you about.
This is great, and the funny part about this is you never will. You never will, because they're corrupt and they're lying, and the media is covering for them. That's why you won't. And unfortunately, this poor girl with her bangs, her old school Farrah Fawcett's major haircut back in the day, had to get out there and try to run interference for Creepy Slippy, and then tried to pivot, and it was a poor pivot. She almost broke her ankle trying to make that pivot, because she was, well, you know what, since you want to talk about concentration camps in China, Trump killed over 200,000 people, because the poor didn't even bother to mention that the disease came from the same country that she's defending. Yeah, it didn't even, and none of that connected or made sense, and that's why you can tell this girl is an amateur, plus I don't even know if she was the best liar and PR person in the world. I don't know if anybody could make sense out of all of this as much as they're trying to. There's no way to do it. So what they're relying on is stupid people who believe stupid things, who they don't have to put together an elaborate scheme that just totally challenges your comprehensive skills, your reasoning skills, your logic. None of that. They don't have to put that together, because all they got to do is say the Russians, and they be like, what? Yeah, it's the Russians. Or throw Trump's name in there somehow, and all of a sudden, everybody's distracted. Yep, that's right, squirrel. Yeah, the word Russians and racism is the squirrel. Squirrel, and where's it at? Oh, yeah, let's go get the squirrel. So I'm not going to do it. I don't take squirrels. I'm going to expose this type of garbage. And the boss that also exposed it, President Trump, and I'm waiting for the apology for that stupid, reckless impeachment. And before I go, Christopher Wray got to go. They had that intel during the impeachment from what I'm hearing, but they didn't do nothing. Could have shut the whole impeachment down, but let it ride. Why you do that, Chris? Huh? What's up with that? He got to go too. Anyway, God bless y'all. Thanks for checking out my video. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and the notification button. Now, this is a sensitive topic about exposing creepy, sleepy, sloppy, slimy. So they might stick it to me with YouTube. But you know what? It is what it is. So if you get a chance, please go ahead and subscribe to KC Uncensored, small subscription fee monthly. But it's to help me get up and going with my channel to where I don't have to worry about every word I say, and also check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like their products, click on the link below, put Kevin in the promo code, you get a 20% discount. And then also, if you want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, feel free. There's links below this video to do that as well. And don't forget I think that might be it. Oh, Wednesdays, 7:30 live in Kevin's Corner on Facebook, YouTube, and my radio blog talk show. All right, God bless to y'all. Next time in Kevin's Corner.